the next part together here. So this is the fourth part, and what they want you to do is they want you to evaluate 16 to the 3 over 2 power. So let's try to look at this one together. When you look at the denominator over 2, that represents the square root. So what we can do is square root of 16, and then whole thing to the, looking at the third power, right over here. That's basically what we can do. Then what are we going to get? Yes, square root of 16 equals 4. 4 to the 3 power. What is 4 to the 3 power? That's equal to 64. So that's how we can get C as the answer. Alright, let's look at number 32. Now, in this case, what we're going to be doing is this. Notice that these are all multiplications, so we can multiply these two things together. Divide, right? So 2.3 divided by 1.15. Did you realize that this is double of this one? So we're going to get 2. When you divide with the same basis, what are you going to do? You're going to subtract the exponent. So we get multiply by 10 to the 5 minus 10. We get negative 5. So we get choice A as the answer. Alrighty. Number 33. When x equals 2, we need to evaluate this one. How are you going to do it? We're just going to plug them in and see what we end up getting. Then we get 1 minus 2 to the 4th power over 1 minus 2. So denominator is simply negative 1. So not bad. How about the numerator? 2 to the 4th power is equal to 16. So what we end up getting is 1 minus 16. So we get negative 15 over negative 1. So our final answer becomes 15. Choice A becomes the answer. Number 34. So let's try to multiply this one together. Y minus 8 multiplied by y minus 8. Now what do we end up getting, guys? Y times y, we get y squared. Y times negative 8 becomes negative 8y. So when I multiply these two, we get another negative 8y. Negative 8 times negative 8 is what? Plus 64. So then what do we end up getting, guys, when you combine them together? We get y squared minus 16y plus 64. So which is choice? B seems to be the answer. Alrighty, let's move on to the next problem, number 35. They want you to solve this one. How are we going to do it? In fact, we can try to factor. You see, the way which we can factor is multiply those two outer coefficients. So 2 times negative 2, we get negative 4. My question to you is which two numbers multiply to negative 4 but add up to 3? Multiply to negative 4, add up to 3. That's right, it is 4 and negative 1. So that means I can rewrite down the middle terms in this way. 2x squared plus 4x minus 2 equal to 0. And then factor by grouping. Then what do we end up getting, guys, here? We can factor 2x out here. We have x plus 2. Second one is we can subtract negative 1, so we get x plus 2 equal to 0. Then as you can see, x plus 2 are the common ones, so we get x plus 2. And then we have 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Then in order for the first one to be first one to be 0, x has to be equal to negative 2. But for the second one, we get 1/2. So negative 2 and 1/2, which is choice B again. Alrighty, let's look at the next one, number 36. They want you to express this one in simplest forms. That means we need to factor and cancel. So when you factor the x from the numerator, x and then x minus 2 is what we end up getting. How about from the denominator? You can see that we have negative 2 multiplied to negative to add up to negative 1. X minus 2, x plus 1. That's how we can factor. But did you realize that x minus 2's can cancel away? So giving us x over x plus 1, which is choice C. Alright, number 37. When you want to combine them together, we realize that they don't have a common denominator. So for the first fraction, we're going to multiply by x minus 1. For the second one, we're going to multiply by x plus 1. Then what do we end up getting, guys? Denominator is the same, so we get x plus 1 times x minus 1 is x squared minus 1. First, we get 2x minus 2 when you distribute 2. Second one, when you distribute negative 1, you see, then minus x minus 1. So 2x minus x becomes x and minus 3 over x squared minus 1. So we get choice. C becomes the answer. Alrighty, sounds good. Let's continue. Number 38. Once again, complex fraction. How are we going to simplify the complex fraction? We're going to multiply top and bottom by the common denominator. What are the common denominators here? On top, I have xy, and then that's the same thing that I have to multiply on the bottom as well, xy. So when I multiply xy to the first fraction, then the y's cancel away. We are left with x. And the second one, x's cancel away. We are left with y, but with the minus, we have x minus y. Instead of multiplying xy to both terms, if I were to leave them as it is, then we're going to get, ooh, look at this. We get to see that these two cancel away, leaving one as the remaining factor. So 1 over x times y, which is choice C becomes the answer. Sounds good. Let's look at number 39. So how would you be able to simplify this one? Let's break down 81. You see, 81 is I want to look at perfect cube, because perfect cube many times helps us to simplify the cube root. So we get 81 is 27 times 3. And then I like 27 because 27 is a perfect cube. So then I can rewrite this one as cube root of 27 times 3 times x cubed times y squared. And you can see that whenever I see perfect cube right over here, those two factors can come out. So 27, when it comes out of the cube root, becomes 3. X cubed coming out of the cube root becomes x. And then hence we have cube root of 3y squared remaining inside, which is choice D seems to be the answer. Alrighty, let's look at the next question. So, number 40. The graph of y equals x squared looks like, I think this is the easiest. I think many of us know that it's choice A. Alright, so with that one, I'm done. I'll see you later.